Had the privilege of fathering 4 children, 2 sets of twins, and how my kids even came for me was, overwhelming. I'll tell you, to say the least, was overwhelming because we had 4 children in the space of 3 years, and my life really turned, and not in a bad way, however, not in a bad way, because I was a drummer. I was playing for a gospel group, and the group was ready to go on tour. Well, then my wife had the second set of twins, and there was no way I could leave my wife with 4 young children. So I decided to have given up that career and be there for my children. I was there, in so many ways that I could be. I enjoyed the fact that I could be there for first days of school. I could be there for graduation. I could be there, just being there as that support system, as the head of the family, leading the family through the different stages of life, because primary school, basic school, high school, college, watching them growing from babies to adults now, and being there to give that kind of a support. The fatherly talks, the consultation with them, say, Daddy, I need to talk to you about something. I don't want to talk to mommy about this. I want to talk to you about it. And it really means a lot, not just to me as a father, but I believe also to them. So providing is great, being there to provide finances and the security is very important. So let me say that. Let me just pause on that one. Security, making sure your children feel secure. When my girls were coming home from school, or once it passed a certain hour of the night or the evening, they know I'll be out there at the bus stop, or they could text me and say, Daddy, I'm at a certain point, meet me at the bus stop. Because a father's presence means so much. And I'm glad the Lord helped me to be there for my children. And you'd hear some more from others of my friends who would have had similar situations or even different situations. But we wanted to emphasize the importance of being there for our children.
What it means to be present as a father. Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. To me, this scripture emphasizes the importance of growing my child up in a way that will have a lasting impact. Being present as a father means not only loving, caring, and providing for them, but also instilling godly principles in their life, disciplining them when needed, teaching them right from wrong, teaching them common courtesies such as how to say thank you, good morning, and excuse me, being supportive in activities and achievements, educating them by sending them to the best learning institution, and also, teaching them through real life experiences. I being a father right now, and hoping to have more kids in the near future, by the grace of God, it's my responsibility, to break generational curses, because my father was not there for me most of the times. So I have to be the person, at the forefront, leading my child in this day and age, and by one day in the future, she will look at me and say, Daddy, I thank you for what you have done for me.
Father of 4, just thinking about and meditating on what it means to be a father that is present. I have been married for 28 years, and to the same woman, the same person. And it's been a pleasure for 28 years, and it's been a blessing. But being a father is so much more different than being a husband. And being present is, as I've learned over the years, through some hard lessons, through some very tough moments. To be present is just more than just being there. Many times I hear men say, "Boy, they don't understand why so and so is happening. You because they're always there." But to be present is not only to be there. To be present means to be active, to be aware, to be supportive, to be a source of strength. The Bible speaks that the man is the head of the house. And a lot of times we as men, we look at that and say, well, we must get the biggest piece of chicken. We must get everything first. But the head of the house means is that the husband or the father is first. And the first thing that is made in a house is the foundation. And so, and you don't see it, and you don't see the foundation at all after the house is built. But that firm foundation is what keeps the house steady and keeps the house strong and can weather any storm. And as a man, as a father, being present is my reality. I'm present to their struggles. I'm present to their heart. I listen to my children, and they're all growing big now, and they're all seeking after God in their own ways. I'm not perfect. I'm not done well all the time, but I've always sought out to be a good father to my children, to listen, to repent, to discipline, to strengthen, to also discipline a generation of other children around me. You know, as a father and as a pastor, you know. So I just want to encourage every man not just to be there, not just to be there looking around and watching football or doing no. Be present, be interactive, interact with your children, interact with your family, and you'll be blessed by it. Trust me, it is life changing. You will learn so much by being present. Thank you so much.
It means to be present for the graduation, to be present at the doctor's visit, to be present at the different events of the child. It also means to be present to listen to the child, be present to guide the child, be present to pray for the child. Yes, man, it's a big job, and I personally wish these children came with a manual, but they don't. So for me, I had to learn as I go along, but I give God thanks that I had persons in my life like Apostle J. Andrew Scott, my spiritual father, and the grants that would have helped me, to teach me what it means to be present as a father, because it's a big role, but I am committed to the role, and it means to be present, just to be there for the child, to guide, to teach, to protect the child, to understand the worldview from the child, because I have a teenage daughter and a son that's in his late 20s, and it is not easy, So the role is a big role, but it is a role that, I am committed to. It means you have to be, present emotionally, you have to be present spiritually, you have to be present financially. Yes, man, you have to be present to be that source of strength, for the children.
Recently, I interviewed my children individually, asking them the question, would they rehire me as their dad? The answers varied. But let me say up front, I'm still their father. I got the job. One of the answers had to do with me being a Christ-like daddy. It was displayed before them all, and that I introduced them to the Lord. Another answer was that how I treated their mother in front of them, and they knew that I really loved their mother, and I was always coming home, no matter where I was, to be with them, even when I worked in Kingston or in Christiana. They also spoke about having fun times with me, playing soccer, going to the river, going to the beach, playing ping pong, always being present there with them. They spoke about other things, why they would still like me to be their dad. My commitment to the Lord, how I really care for them, always, this is the term I use, always in their lives, even now. It was just a blessing to hear how my presence meant a whole lot to them. I remember very early when two of the boys were very young, they went abroad with their mother. May have been for about 6 weeks. when they came back through the airport and the exit door flung open, they ran to me and says, "Daddy, Daddy," with their arms wide open. That made my day and maybe made my life. Just remembering that. I was sick one time when this chikungunya used to be around and couldn't go to church one Sunday. And I heard that one of the boys' comment was, "Daddy must be sick, for he never misses church." They watch us as fathers, they watch us as parents. They want to express that they like my work ethics. I was always going out to work to take care of them. And of course, their educational well-being was always well taken care of. So I'm glad that my presence meant all that to them as they grew up. And watching them now with their families, I'm very proud of the job that they're doing. So thank God that I still have the job.
One word comes to mind: intentional. To be intentional means to act deliberately or on purpose. An intentional father is one who is first and foremost saved, deeply rooted in a relationship with God, and committed in marriage. From the moment a child is conceived, he is present, fully engaged in every stage of that child's development. He raises the child with purpose, consistently seeking to ensure that God's plan for the child's life is fulfilled. For me, that is what a father being present really means. Is seeing to the child's development, fully engaged in what the child does.
Been a father for 6 years, married for 9 years. I'm a father of 2 precious little girls. So yep, I'm a girl dad. I am the only source of testosterone in my house. So perhaps my experience as a father is probably a little bit different from those who have boys or who have both genders, I am sure. But for me, being present as a dad, it has meant for me being there for my girls from the very beginning, from the first time that I knew that my wife was pregnant, being with her as much as I could at almost every doctor's appointment. Our second daughter was born during COVID in 2020, and I made sure to make sure my presence was felt because they didn't want me to be in the operating room. We had to get special permission, do extra COVID testing just so I could be there, and I had to make sure I was there for my daughters, for both of them. So being a present father means being there, showing up, from the very beginning, changing diapers, getting up in the middle of the night, feeding, taking charge of the children so that mommy can get a break. What we don't understand sometimes as fathers is that our children are continuously looking at us, patterning us, seeing how we do things and how we approach things. I've even seen in my girls things that I would have never dreamed, things that I would be doing. I see them doing the same kinds of things, how they approach things, and for the girls especially, I know that what they see of me, how I interact with them and how I treat my wife, that they're going to be patterning that as what a man should be for them. And for the boys, for sure, you as a man, as their father, is going to be that role model of how a man should behave or act. So I just want to encourage all the fathers just to continue to be there. Sometimes you never know, just your presence, just you saying, "Daddy, I'm going to play today," when they ask you, because you don't know how long they're going to ask you to play with them. I have suffered in the sense that I have become a human dolly for my daughters, where they try to comb my hair, what bit of it is there, but I do that with them to show them that I love them and that I care for them. So being present as a father for me is really letting go of myself and choosing what they need over what I need. So just want to encourage all the fathers out there, just continue to be present, continue to show up, because your children need you. They need you. There is no child that doesn't need their father, regardless of what they might say or what you might think or what you might have experienced. Every single child needs their father, and how you love them, is even how they are going to relate to God, to be able to experience the love of God.
So you would have heard from myself and my other friends and male friends who are fathers themselves and their own journey. I don't know what your journey is right now, but we want to strengthen you. I say big up to the man, them, and blessings. Continue doing what you have to do. Make the sacrifices. Be there for them, because you will never live long enough to regret it.